Hey everybody, good morning. I'm tired as you can see. Yesterday's event went really well. And before I tell you about how the event went, I have to tell you about my 2 days from hell. It's been horrible, people. One thing after another. It's been a bit much. Alright, so let's first begin. Well, those clients I told you about, since they didn't want to take my advice about the manual. They don't want to listen to a damn thing, but they seem to miss the mark. And I tell you, why do I have to deal with foolishness like this? I got my hair everywhere, people. I literally just woke up. It's like 11:48. Well, I've been in the bed for the past 2 hours trying to figure out why my mail app is not syncing my spam folder from Outlook. So I cleared cache, I uninstalled, I reinstalled, I've done everything. Still won't work. So fuck it. Just gonna uninstall it, go back to Outlook. And the reason why I don't use Outlook anymore is because for some reason it works fine. Then it all of a sudden stops sending messages. So I have like an outbox with all these messages. And when you're running a business, you don't have time for that, especially when my business relies on me being responsive to people and replying to stuff online. So I wound up reinstalling them today. And then guess what happens? Now my inbox won't sync. And so I'm waiting on the developers to let me know something, but it's just like, really? So my phone is a little Samsung Galaxy Light. It doesn't hold a lot. Maybe 4 gigabytes. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what I'm going to do because I used to have both of the apps running on my phone. One so I could read my messages. And the one thing I like about Outlook, it gives you instant access to your messages like in real time. With my mail, it's only web based. So it kind of sucks because if you're not in the area where you're not having a good signal or can't get to the internet, you can't even look at your mail. At least Outlook, I can look at my mail, it downloads correctly, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to work around this. Boy, I tell you, it's something. So it's funny. I told clients whenever the ones in Mexico that just God help them, please. 'Cause I'm really losing my patience and I'm really very fucking angry with them. But needless to say, I told them whenever I have to use my personal time, you're getting charged 15 an hour, which is actually cheap because I really should charge 20 an hour. But needless to say, I told them I'm tired of going over there for Wi-Fi, for light bulbs, for shit that you guys should have organized and taken care of. And so I sent this long email. He sends an email. Oh, I didn't know it would be such a headache for people to contact you about these things. Motherfucker, are you kidding me? You people did not do the things you needed to do. So that's why it's a hassle. Who the fuck told you not to pay your Comcast bill? And that's why people didn't have Wi-Fi. And that's why they didn't have cable. And I had to go over there and deal with that shit and call technicians because you didn't pay your fucking bill. Right? I mean, these motherfuckers have really pushed me to the edge where I may just go today, drop those fucking keys off, and say, fuck yourself. Get somebody else to take care of your property, to take care of your clients, and you people don't appreciate a goddamn thing. So the other day, when I made that video about them, it was my day off, my evening off. I had nothing booked, and I was looking forward to that. My goal? I dropped some stuff at my storage. I was going to have a nice dinner and relax at home in this room. And I get a call at 6:42, 6:24 to be exact. Uh, there's suitcases and clothes in the basement. And I'm like, I just cleaned it the other day. I had an assistant clean it the other day. There should be nothing in there. It's probably the guest upstairs who rented out the upstairs and not the basement. And even though the basement's fully locked and there's a separate key and a separate entrance, they went down there. And that really pissed me off. But I'll tell you part of the issue. Okay? They're renting a 3-bedroom house, right? One of the bedrooms has a full bed. The other bedroom is a kid's room and has a kid's bed. So unless they have kids, it's just not gonna work. The other bedroom has a day bed. Now I looked at their listing. They do identify that the third bedroom is actually a kid's. But what they don't do is show people and tell people that the second bed is a date bed suitable for like one person. You know, a person my size would fit just fine, nice and great. There's no extra space. And so, what do you think? Who normally would rent a three-bedroom house? Families, couples, and that's plural, you know? I mean, unless one couple just wanted all that space, you know? So, yeah, there's a family from Netherlands, the mother and the father, their son and his girlfriend. And obviously, they couldn't fit upstairs, so they went downstairs. So, on one hand, I'm a little ticked at them, but I can also understand. But at the same time, they should have contacted the owner. And at the same time, the owner needs to let people know specifically what they have and how to accommodate people. So, guess who got called? And hey, can you come clean the place? And I'm like, sure. And then this motherfucker seems to think I'm talking about the owner, Chris, and his stupid ass wife, Priscilla. I don't mean to talk about people like this, but they really fucking piss me off. Like, you would think after I went all the way down there to clean the place and let them know that they would reply, "Thanks so much. We really appreciate you." No. And so, who had to pay $20 for an Amtrak ticket? Because why? The next mark wasn't going to get me down to the property until 9 o'clock. This is like almost 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm in Baltimore, and you know all the things that are going on in Baltimore right now. Found a way. Took an Uber to the Baltimore Penn, and I paid $20 on my Amtrak. I got to the property well before even 8 o'clock, and started correcting the problems. I spoke to people upstairs. I spoke with people downstairs when they checked in. And it's funny, the people downstairs when they checked in, they're looking at me like, well, what's the mix-up? And I'm like, excuse me, the mix-up has nothing to do with me. It has to do with your owner, the owners. Have they not discussed this with you? They said no, they haven't discussed anything. Oh, so they left the bullshit for me to deal with. How lovely. Okay, okay. No, it's just, it's a mess. So I had to deal with that. And that in turn really fucked up my schedule. Why? Because my plan was to just relax and get ready for this, event that I had yesterday. So I'm on the train and I'm tired and I'm listening to my music. I'm actually listening to one of my favorite albums by Patrick Stump. It's called Soul Punk. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Why you don't like this album or gave him such backlash? What, you think because he's white he can't sing like that? There's very few artists that can sing in his range. Michael Jackson is one of them. Of course, Adam Levine pisses me off, but you know. And needless to say, I'm chilling. I miss my stop. I get on the wrong train. I'm at Eastern Market, and you know how the lights, they're orange. And so I thought it was the orange line because I'm used to the blue and the orange, and I forgot about the silver. And long story short, I find myself at Capitol Heights. I'm like, fuck, it's 10:10. I gotta get to New Carrollton by 10:40. This is not gonna work. I tried my best. I went to Largo, hopped in a cab. I made it there 1 minute. And it's like I wanted to slap the cab driver. I felt like he was purposely, because we know that was Kane, driving slow to piss me off, to have me not make my train. Like, you guys should understand by now. That little motherfucker is going to die because every day I have to deal with bullshit and little things that he does to fuck up my day, fuck up my goddamn life, and I'm sick of it. Sick of it. I don't know why the fuck you put this bitch in control of a goddamn thing. He's stupid. Can't you motherfuckers see that? No, because you're just as dumb as him. And that's why when I chop his head, I'm going to take my hand, sweep you all into the fucking fire. Follow the leader, right? I'm very, very chill. I'm just tired. I'm just pissed. And of course, the person that I want to kill the most probably right now is Jehovah. Because why is this shit still going on? Why do I have to still deal with this shit? Nothing to be said. So anyway, I was like, fuck it. I'm tired. I don't feel like going to Union Station to wait till 3:15 for the Amtrak, which I could have rode for free, but it would have taken me to Baltimore Penn, and then I still had to get home to West Baltimore from Baltimore Penn. So needless to say, I was tired. So I said, okay, I'll just book a hostel. Never stayed in a hostel. I booked Capital Comfort Hostel. It was $35. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to sleep. Got there, it's like almost 12. Checked in. Um, Reminded me of like a shelter room with a TV because there was like the room was so tiny and like four bunk beds. And thank God there's only one person in there. So, but like, okay, I go in the kitchen and this huge white girl is like bent over the refrigerator with her flat ass in the air. And I was like, really? That's what a person wants to look at? And then people are just disgusting. Like she's just sitting there like licking her fingers and all kind of shit. I'm like, oh, and the floor is dirty. And I'm like, okay, this is what a hostel really is. Just any and everyone. And then they had rooms that had men and women. I ain't down with that. And then on top of that, there wasn't even staff there or security or a front desk person or anyone. So theoretically, front plate down. Anyway, but I will say the bed was clean, the sheets were clean. I just need a place to crash. As long as there's nobody trying to touch me, mice or roaches running around, okay, fuck it. I've had more peaceful experiences sleeping on a bench in a park than living in some of the places I've lived in. It's crazy, right? So, okay, 7 a.m. I jump up. Hey, luckily I had an extra set of clothes. I try to always keep an extra set of clothes or tall shoes and underwear just because given my life, you never know where I'm going to be or what's going to happen. And so, got up, freshened up. I said, all right, let me just go ahead back to Baltimore because I have this event in Herndon. I had a catering company I was supposed to interview with. That's just not going to work, but fuck it. I can go home because my shoes and my jacket are at home. And even if I went to my storage in DC, I just have my black shirt and my pants and my hair. It definitely didn't look like this. When I go to bed, very nice and very professional. So I was like, just go home. Well, I get ready to get on the train, and something told me, look for your ID. I don't have my fucking ID. So the guy didn't give me back my ID last night. And on one hand, it's like, okay, he probably was tired, and I didn't even check. So I was definitely tired. God damn. So you can't check out till 9. I had to wait till 9. I had to sit there and wait. I went to Starbucks, sat there for a while. I was like, fuck it, smoke a blunt, don't try. Get there, got my ID. They were very cool about it. I appreciate it. So I'm not mad. I'll give a shout out to them. Definitely. I love booking.com. So Capital Comfort Hostel. If you need a clean place and you're just need it for a few days or whatever the case may be, it's cheap, it's affordable. Yeah, they have my recommendation. And so I get to back up Baltimore at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, I got to be at this event at 3 something. And actually, I talked to the client, and fortunately, they were already prepared. They're just serving sandwiches, and they're picking them up from Wegmans. So that was pretty easy. And basically, all we were doing was supposed to be serving the beer and wine. I was like, cool. Much more better than a few of the events that have worked, especially recently. And well, things just did not quite work out that way because when I got home, I have to take my shower. I have to make myself something to eat, do the things that a person has to do. And long story short, it's like before I knew it, it was like 1 o'clock. I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to make this 1:35 train, even though I have a monthly Mark Pass. I wouldn't have to pay, and it would relatively get me there on time. What am I gonna do? Book Amtrak, which was $20 and call it override because I have to be there. Like my name's on the line. If I had to spend $100 to catch a cab all the way to Herndon, that's what I would have had to do. So did that. I'm like, I'm on a train. I'm not stressing. I get dressed. Everything's right. It's 3 o'clock when I hit DC. I have to be at the event by 4, which normally it doesn't take that long to get to. It takes about 20 minutes from Union Station to get to Clarendon, and then from there, East Falls Church, just a few more minutes. So I figure, okay, looking on Google Maps, it only takes 20 minutes. So even if it takes 30 minutes, I'll be there on time. Traffic was fucked up. That cab ride wound up costing me $55. And luckily, the lady that I've been working with, Monique, has been such a blessing. Every now and then I catch her saying things or she'll do things, and I'm like, I know that can't. To push it out of my head because, I think she's a good person, but goddamn, you gotta do what you gotta do, and she works very hard, and she knows what she's doing. So she really helped out yesterday. She was there 10 minutes early. Got up there. I called the client, let them know what was going on. I was stuck in traffic. They were totally cool. They understood because I guess they're used to Dallas and traffic in that area. So I wound up giving her extra $10, which I think is very fair. And I was really appreciative. And that's the thing. Like, everyone needs help. And when people are willing to work hard and help me, because I work hard and I always help people, I appreciate that. And I show my appreciation. You know, I don't stiff people, I don't jip people, I don't do any of that shit. And yeah, so that was great. And the event was great. The event was really good. Got to meet a lot of people, talk to people, you know what I mean? And cleaned up. It was great. So I'm happy. Another successful event. And so let's see. When I tell you everything just kept going wrong. So yesterday, I'm actually getting ready for the event, right? I'm at home. And okay, so this lady Dorothy. I think I told you about Willie Joe. Well, let me tell you about Willie Joe real quick and why me and Willie Joe just, I'm not talking to her ever fucking again if I don't have to because of what she did. Um, Willie Joe was working for this family as, you know, under the table kind of home health aide. And she's actually someone that I had met from the shelter. And so we have always had a good relationship. You know, she would let me come stay at her place when there were times I didn't have places to stay. I'd always give her money, buy food, whatever, you know. And I just noticed, though, that her attitude shifted when I was in that shelter, Code Blue in Baltimore, and I told you guys what happened with that. I just couldn't take it. Like, you're not gonna. This is the second shelter run by Catholic fucking charities that wants to try to stop me from working or do what I gotta do or, you know, send their little demons to provoke me. But when I start flipping off on their little demons, then they want to try to lock me up or throw me out or try to protect them. Don't stop me from fucking them up. So she was like, you can stay with me for a little while. I said, okay, fine, cool, appreciate it. She lets me use her room. I was never there. I'll give you $400 a month. I'll buy groceries, and I'll even give you work because I have so much work, right? I take her on a job with me. I go upstairs. She's sitting down watching Wendy Williams, watching TV. Shout out to Wendy Williams. Love you. Hope we can still work things out, honey. You know, things happen in life, right? But I do love your show. I watched it the other day. And I'm like, really? Like, there's two bedrooms upstairs. All she did was take the sheets off, put the sheets on, and vacuum, and barely wanted to clean the bathroom. Like, obviously, we have on. So, if there is shower scum or things like that on the shower curtain, you take the rag, you spray it with bleach, and you scrub it, and it comes right off. It's like, I'm like, bitch, are you kidding me? Like, I don't have time for this shit. Okay. So I really felt a certain kind of way when I'm downstairs working my ass off and she's upstairs sitting there watching TV. Like, why wouldn't you come downstairs and say, hey, let me help you with something? Oh, I got to sit down. You're that tired from making two bets? Really? Okay. So I didn't it was a difficult situation because I'm staying in her house and I'm paying her money to stay in her house. And it's like, I didn't want it to get into a confrontation to where I was going to slap that bitch and have to leave and then like really flip the fuck out because I'm tired of people trying to take advantage of me. And I gave her $40 for 2.5 hours, which was half of what I was making for the whole, house. And that's just not gonna work. I said, if I would have been another company, she would have not did that to me. You go sit down. And then when I asked her about doing the house again, oh, I don't know. It's too much work. You see how long it took us to get out? I'm like, because you were sitting on your fucking ass. And then so I have their other property, which is the basement. So she just wanted to do the basement because the basement is really easy. And I'm like, no, you know, you don't have a job. You have no money coming in other than your Social Security. And I'm helping you out. Like, I paid her, I only stayed in her house for a week, mind you. Shit went downhill in just 1 week. I gave her $200. I brought $100 worth of groceries. Even when I was house sitting somewhere else, I still put groceries. Why the fuck she couldn't get off her ass and go to like Bread for the City or all these other places that I've gone that I know about that give you great food? She's a lazy bitch and she thinks she can use me. Like a lot of people, even my own family tried to use me, which is why they're not my family and I don't fuck with them. So I said, okay, fuck her. I'm getting the fuck out. And Like one night, I cleaned 3 houses. I was locked out till 12. She promised me she was gonna give me a key. Never gave me a key. Went to some party, got drunk as a motherfucker, and tried to talk shit to me. Kept asking me, "Are you okay?" And I wanted to jump up. Bitch, are you okay? How about slap the fuck out you? Let's see who's okay then. You know what the fuck you did. And then like any little thing, she was trying to nitpick me. Oh, don't wash the bowls because they'll never dry the way you wash them and leave them. I'm like, if they're sitting face up, you need a dish dryer for one. But if they're face up on a counter, they will dry. And bitch, fuck you. Okay? So I got out of there. Just couldn't believe how bad a person will try to treat you when they think you have nowhere to go. Cause see, when I was staying, a few nights and everything, it was cool. Then this little conniving bitch was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna stay for a few months." I'm like, "Nah, I have to have my own place. I need a key. I needed things to do." And that was just a nice way of just me getting the fuck out of there. I got all my shit. So I wound up having to get another storage because I couldn't carry all the stuff back to Baltimore. And then we know what happened to me with the Georgetown people. So I was just like, fuck, I just lost a source of income. I'm not staying here. I'm going to fuck. If I got to sleep on the street, like, I don't fucking care anymore. That's when you know you're really going to do something that's fuck some shit up when you just don't care anymore. And so I said, I'll do Airbnb. Airbnb has been great because you can book places, but at the same time, I'm paying a service fee. I don't have a stable place to stay, and I have to have money to pay for the room. So now, if I don't get paid Sunday, I'm not gonna have a room to sleep in. See, it's stress I gotta deal with, and that's not right. And people try to play games and hold my money on fucking purpose to do this shit to me. I'm tired of it. So I fired that bitch and I got somebody else. This was actually a lady who I saw in the library, and she was at the shelter when I was there. And I remembered how Harriet Tubman, by the way, she used to be on like their detail program and clean up and, go out and really try to get herself together. First day, I brought her for an hour, gave her $15, or showed her what needed to be done. The second day she came out with me, gave her $40. She did a great job, you know. Then I noticed the third time, which was the other day, when I wasn't actually in the place. See, first she kept trying to say, I'll come early, but I'm like, I don't need her to come early. She just maybe wants some more money, but like I'm giving you 15 an hour. And really, I didn't have to use her the other day, but I did use her because I felt like, if you say you're going to try to give somebody work, try to help them out. And I know that this money can help her get her ID, and she doesn't have ID. She doesn't have any of these things. Like, so how would a job hire you, right? Because I've been there and I know. So she says she got to the house at 12, but it's funny. When I got there at 2:30, there was like the basement is probably like not that much bigger than the room that I'm in. There was like nothing done. She claimed that she cleaned the kitchen and the bathroom. I opened the microwave. It was like dirty. Then the floor was dirty, and I was like, "You swept down here?" And she was like, "Yeah." And now, granted, I know the wash and dry down there takes a long time, but it's like, come on now. I had other linens that were fresh. You could have just ironed them, slapped them on the bed. You've been out of there an hour, no more than an hour and a half. And then the people upstairs, the guests that checked out previous to the guests that checked in, who checked in the basement. You can follow me, people. Well, the people left the keys in the house, and I'm like, why would you do that? You got the keys out of the lockbox, and I told you that's where they go, and I showed you. So first, the couple tries to say, "Oh, we didn't know how to do that," and I said, "Really? Because I showed you and your wife how to do that." And then it was like, "Oh, we forgot." I was like, "Well, it's really not a big deal. I'll just tell you it." I had an assistant on their way to come clean that place, which is why I was using Dorothy. The goal was to have her help me with both the upstairs and the downstairs. So that got fucked up. So I had to leave and come down to DC a hell of a lot quicker and than I thought. So I get to the house and I was able to clean the whole upstairs while she was downstairs doing God knows what. Then I said, okay, I'm getting ready to leave. It's almost 3 o'clock. It's actually three something. I have another appointment at 4, and this is out Glenmont. So I'll tell you what. You all you have to do upstairs is clean the bathroom, which was super easy because I had already pretty much cleaned it. The tub, this floor, the sink, the mirrors, and in the bedrooms, just I've already swept it out. No, just she's had to sweep and Swiffer and put the sheets on the bed. One of them, the sheets didn't even have to be ironed. The other set was a day bed. I left at 3. Why did this bitch try to eat? First of all, I told her to text me when she left, but she didn't. So she texted me the next day, talking about she stayed till 5:30 instead of 3. And I'm like, really? It took you. I left at 3. So how did it take you 2.5 hours to sweep and mop 2 rooms? Because that's what you were actually doing when I left and put the sheets in the bed. Even because I know how the dryer works, it's 20 minutes on speed wash, right? So even if you say 30 minutes that she had to wait, and then another 30 minutes, still, that doesn't, how do you justify 2.5 hours? When I asked her to give an account, she couldn't. She didn't. So I know the bitch is lying, right? So let's see what else happened. Well, backtrack. So before that kicked off, right? So all these things, mind you, have happened to me the past 2 days. And it's just been like, really? So I wound up losing $150 in cabs and Amtrak and everything because my schedule got fucked up because of these people in their last minute shit. So yeah, not only am I gonna charge them the 50 for the basement, they're getting charged 20 for my Amtrak ticket, and then they're getting charged another 20 for the emergency and the inconvenience. And I will attach my Uber, and I'll attach my Amtrak because what I do on my personal time is none of your business. You cannot assume that I'm right down the street because I'm not. You know, at the time I was living really close by. I was staying with Willie Joe, and we all know how that worked out. But even still, like, I'm not your cleaning bitch. I'm not on call for you. And then he's telling people, oh, it's only take an hour. You don't know where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing. And they know I work other stuff. I could have been working another event. So actually now that fee is going to be $30 because I was doing other stuff and I had to stop what I was doing to take care of this. And it was not my fault whatsoever, you know. And then the fact that they wouldn't even communicate back with the people. And I'm like, they're looking at me like, what's the mix up? I'm like, who the fuck are you to ask me a goddamn thing? Because it ain't my fault. And I'm not the one responsible. So, yesterday, so let me tell you, just, I don't know. I got home 11:30, and I was like, I'm tired. I need to invoice this client so they can pay me my money. And I know something else is occurred. So, oh yeah. So I told Lady Dorothy, oh, let me get back to her real quick. So I asked her before I took these 2 promotions in Frederick. Okay, I specifically asked her if she could do both houses, and if she could, because the people check out 11, and the next guests are allowed to check in at 3. But most of the time, they really check in at 3, and a lot of times they usually are gone before 11. If they need to stay over 11, they know they need to call me because I'm going to start cleaning anyway, right? And so I approximated 2.5 hours for the K Street house, 3 hours at the max, right? And then even the basement, because it's so small, she could have easily just, even if this is what my theory is. If the people come in and you're cleaning, like, so what? It's a good sign to them that the place is being cleaned, and I'm very cordial and I'm very polite and I'm very articulate, and I talk to them and give them good tips about restaurants and where to go while I'm cleaning, and I take their bags, and I really just give that personal service. So I told her, I will give you, because I give her 30 for the basement. It only takes like 1 hour, hour and a half. And I'll give you 40 for the K-Street house. And I will make sure I iron and have all the linens ready like I always do. Usually, if I don't have time to iron them, at least they're folded neatly and they're in a bag and you know where to get them. So that way, in an emergency, if I have to run down there like I did the other day, I have linens already to go. I don't have to worry about the wash. And if I send an assistant, it's all to the good. So she was like, the next day, mind you, after she already confirmed and agreed. And usually I give her 40 for that house and 30 for the basement. I said, look, I'll give you 80 for both because I appreciate you doing this. And I am trying to get back into booking more promotions, and this will help me out. And it'll help you out as well, right? Well, she decides she can't do both houses and that she wants 55 fucking dollars for the K Street house. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. If I'm paying you $15 an hour, how do you come up with 55 an hour when at the most it would be 3 hours? Yeah, which would be $45. And she's like, well, it takes me longer to do the work and I do a really good job. And I'm like, first of all, why the hell would it take you longer to do the work? And really, I didn't even bomb her out about the so-called good job that she did. Because here's my thing. I had to come back to that basement to clean it because of what happened with people. So I can understand if the kitchen and, stuff is, a little dirty. But I swept up so much fucking dust off the floor and off the carpet. I was like, what the fuck? She barely did anything. So another person trying to work me. And you do not, like, believe me, they most of the time, when I have the time, I take my time and clean, and it still doesn't take me that long. Why? Because I clean these places like usually at least 2 to 3 times a week, and I really do a very good job. Like I go into the furniture, the baseboards, the blinds, the windows, little stuff that most people don't do. I do it. And I keep the places immaculate because there may be a time where I only have 1 hour and I need to get that house done. And guess what? I've done it and I can do it. So don't play games with me. Or the fact that I had already booked something and you're now waiting to tell me this. You should have told me this yesterday. Or at least work with me. Be like, you know what, Amanda, I realize you're a businesswoman. You've put your name on the line for this company. You have to do this promotion. And I'm supposed to, clean. Well, could you give me more money? Or it will take more time to do both instead of you making an excuse. Like, you really think it's going to take you 4 hours to clean a two-level, small, two-bedroom row house that's already clean? Really? Really, bitch? Okay. You're playing games. And that's what I told. I said, I don't have time for this shit. You're playing games with me. I have a business to run. What you're doing is so fucked up. I can't even begin to say. Like, I'm so tired of this shit. I've hired people as babysitters, a million and one things, and people won't show up or they'll let you down. And I'm at the point now, I can't hire anyone. I just have to do everything myself, which I'm used to it, right? So I was like, now I'm in a dilemma. Why? Because what am I supposed to do? I actually, I've just realized too on that same day, I have another property that I have to clean. So it looks like I am going to really, really look bad to this marketing company because I have to cancel now. I thought about it like I could hire a company, but what's the guarantee that they'll show up? And I even looked at Handy. You can get 2 hours of cleaning for $30. I was like, maybe I could just get someone to do the basement. That's 2 hours. And then get someone over at the other house. That's 2 hours, 3, 6. And then I still need someone to handle the other place. That's 3, 6. That's $90. And I'm getting 50 for the basement, 80 for the house, and then 35 for the other place. That ain't gonna work out. That's all my money. I need my money. So I'm just gonna have to cancel on the promotion, and they're not gonna hire me anymore, and I'm gonna look super bad. And except for now on, I just cannot book anything that I'm already booked for. That's how it is. Now, face another dilemma. There's a serving gig, and then there's a L'Oreal gig. And serving gig would be a lot easier because I only have to go one place and do it, but I already committed, so fuck. What do I do? But, so if you see me sleeping at Union Station on Sunday, you'll know why. Or Penn. Or back in front of the White House. I just cannot deal with this shit. These motherfuckers. Like, everyone wants to fuck up what I do. Why are you bitches so worried about me? Can't get to you yet. But now you know why I'm gonna come get to you. Because you won't leave me the fuck alone. Worry about your own lives, people. Stop trying to fuck up mine. So I gotta resolve these technical issues with my phone and see what I'm gonna do. At least I'm going out of town and I'm looking forward to that. I really am. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with that. I'm going to be at the airport as early as possible to ensure nothing goes wrong with that. So we'll see. I don't know what else to say or do, but I know I'm about to drink some wine. I'm gonna send. Oh, so back to the lady in Gaithersburg. So I explained to her, like, lady, you have my business card. I have sent you references, pictures of my work, and a detailed description of what I can do and how much I charge. And you still want me to come all the way to Gaithersburg, okay, to meet you and look at your place. Well, first of all, it doesn't work that way. The only way that I come to someone for a consultation unpaid is when I am booking a hospitality gig. And I'll tell you, because the hospitality, it's more intricate. Uh, I charge more, definitely, but it's more of an intimate experience. We're talking about housekeeping. We're talking about somebody that is giving you a business card, and well, somebody actually gave it to her. And that, like, what more do you want? You want me to spend 2 hours to travel? I mean, even from DC, it's going to take at least 2 hours. It's almost an hour to Shady Grove, and then from Shady Grove, you got to catch a bus. And then I'm supposed to spend what? 30 minutes or an hour at the max at your house. So that's 3 hours right there. Then I have to go home. That's 5 hours. 5 hours of my time that I'm supposed to spend. And you're not paying me anything. And there's no absolute promise of money. I could see if it was okay, come with your supplies. I'll give you once over. If things go great, you can start. Because I've had people that say, I'm not going to have you come out to just look at my place and not pay you for cleaning. Like, that doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And I thought that this lady would get it. And I've told her several times. So I'm supposed to be there, and I'm not there. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even feel like emailing her, because what part don't you understand? That I run a business and I'm a businesswoman. I don't have 5 hours to come all the way to where you're at. You know, if she was around the corner, I could understand something. And she doesn't even know I'm coming from Baltimore. But I told her, I said, look, you know, I'm down in DC dealing with this. And it's funny because you know how I told that story about having an emergency at the property and it wound up turning out to be true. Won't do that again. Fuck. But I bet you it'll still be some other shit. Long story short, I'm just like, no, no. I have an appointment at 4 o'clock in Largo. I will be there. I'll be there on time. And I don't like. I have some people that it just works out great, and it's right near the metro. So all I do, I go from West Baltimore to New Carrollton, and I take the train to Stadium Armory, and then I just go up a few stops. So getting home and things like that would be a lot easier. I have to be on the 10:30 train. I have to. I'm tired. Tomorrow, Saturday, I have to go back down to DC, and I have one house, the house on K Street, to clean. And then I don't have anything else. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sleep. Okay? Do nothing but just sleep until my server gig that evening on P Street in Northwest. And I don't know. Now, I think tomorrow night I may be sleeping at the station, because I think if I get off at 10, I don't know if I'll make it to Union Station at 10:30. 10:35 to be specific. I may just have to pay for a cab. I ain't got money. Like, that hostel was $35. My Amtrak was 20. The cabs was 20 plus the 55 for the cab plus the $90 I had to give to the employee. So, and I had to buy my Mark Pass last night for $87. So, at least if nothing else, if I have to walk the streets at night and sleep on the fucking Mark train back and forth to Baltimore all day long, I don't care. That's what I gotta do. I've done it before, so it's not like I have to. Not like I'm being thrown out to the wolves again, where I didn't know a damn thing about anything surviving on the street. I know now how to survive anywhere and get through anything. All I need is a knife. That's all I really need, people. Shanky bitches. So let me go ahead and get started. But these are the things I do. I don't know. I'm at the point I don't even think getting high helps me deal with this shit anymore. I gotta roll. Deuces.